Wait, what? See, I told you it wasn't on again.
What? We're live already?
Yeah.
What's up, MPX addicts? Welcome to MPX Rehab. I'm your host, the hashtag Certified Mark J. Williams, here with my co-host, as always,
the voice of the MPX addicts, Kyle Smith.
And, apparently we don't have a intro today, so sorry. But,
goddamn professionals we are.
Yep. But last week, MPX's abuse of the law, and sorry, give me a moment. Okay, hey, just a quick advertisement. Livy Loca, you all know her, you love her. She makes salsa and pickles and spicy, and damn, it's good, and it sticks with you. It's good stuff.
It's really good, but it only sticks with you if you're a bitch like you, so you know.
I'm enjoying it though.
That's you.
But either way, this last week, MPX abuse of the law, we had some interesting reveals, and some stuff has happened and changed, and yeah. Okay, give me. So let's go ahead and get started with it. You can tell that not having an intro really threw me. So the first match of the night, Jet Black, Aaron Eagle, non-title match. So part of me was like, oh, well, this would be okay for Aaron to lose, but he didn't. Good.
Why would he? We've seen Jet Black a lot. Yes, Jet Black's entertaining. Yes, he puts on good matches. He's got one win in MPX.
I think so, yeah.
So, I don't... to me, when you look at it, you know Eagle's going to win. And should, continuing his kind of build and everything like that, and his run with the title going into the huge match he has with Tommy Becker. So,
yeah. And I'm, especially with everything going on with that, I'm definitely looking forward to how that's going to be turning out, and just using this and what's going to be happening next week as a build-up for that match. Definitely, looking forward to it. But this match, in and of itself, was it was a lot of fun to start with.
It was having Jet Black, do the eagle pose, and of course Brian Pulver with the great pictures. So we have, I believe it was you, has new Aaron Eagle memes of the shocked face.
Yeah, it replaces the Pikachu shocked face.
Yeah, so which is great. Cause Eagle is one of those that, and we've said it time and again, and we've seen it all this week. He uses social media the best. Ever since Dexter kind of retired. Yes, Dexter still posts a lot, but it's more about personal stuff. Now you've got Eagle coming in, replacing him, so to speak, as the king of social media in the wrestling world. Yeah, and it's amazing, and also just in ring, his expressions, his charisma, everything about him, he's got it, and he should, because he's 15, 20 year vet. Like, he's done this forever. Took a long break, but when he came back like he's never lost it, and even better.
Yeah. And honestly, it's like I definitely agree with the expressiveness and everything like that. I honestly, with all the vignettes he posts and everything like that, part of me is just sitting here going, oh, he'd go great with the studio. Which is the Entourage's non-MPX name.
But everything he's doing is great, and I'm loving this run we've got going, everything like that. It's just one of those where he's so charismatic and so fun that I do feel maybe 3 or 4 months, because the addicts have already kind of turned. He is going to be a top face.
Eventually it's going to happen. I feel like it's going to be one of those things where it's going to be a lot like, his obvious influence, The Rock.
Yes.
In which he's going to, it's like he's saying he's the hero of the people and everything like that. And it's becoming, it's like The Rock was the people's champion, even though he didn't give 2 shits about the people's the people. And it built, and now he really is. Yeah. So we're getting very much the same effect with Aaron Eagle.
I do feel, 3 or 4 months that he is going to be one of the top faces there.
Yeah, unless they decide to do that whole thing of no, Aaron Eagle's a heel, and he just
would, and it still works.
Yeah, it absolutely still would work. It's just one of those things that sometimes the fans just have their own opinion on something, and you can have somebody go out there and be the biggest darn heel out there, and they're still getting cheered.
And it is. It's that thing where when he needs to get booed, he does.
Oh yeah,
he'll do something to where you make him boo him. But let's be honest, his entrance. He's getting way more cheers. Everyone loves it. Everyone loves the song. Everyone loves the pose. I noticed, I've seen it more and more, but last week was very, opened my eyes to go, holy shit, there's a lot of Aaron Eagle t-shirts. He is, it's good, and he's amazing, and like I said, I do feel with everything that's going on and the way the crowd's reacting, and even in his promos, he's kind of cut back a little bit on the heelish. It's more kind of funny and stuff like that. I do feel it's going to be a face thing because the addicts in the crowd, they're just going to turn. They are going to turn that way regardless of what he tries to do or not. Like again though, he still does some things to where he'll do something in the match that you do boo and you absolutely hate. So he's got that good balance right now, but I think having him become one of the biggest faces at MPX is imminent, and I think it would be the right call. To
be perfectly honest, if the purge doesn't turn out the way we're expecting, I could see it happening.
Yeah.
It's Purple Rain, the hero versus 1 in a million.
I do think there's, I don't want to say better matchups, but there are better storylines that Tatum's going into for the Purge.
But the thing is, for the Purge, but it's beyond the Purge because what's going on with the Texas Wrestling Commission?
I'm thinking the Purge and Purple Rain are kind of, I think they're going to be tied in a lot to what's happening with Tatum and everything going on. And it may not be true, and we'll see. I think it would be kind of out of left field, so to speak, to have Eagle be the one to kind of dethrone Tatum?
I don't think it would be as out of the left field as you think at this point, because it's I see where you're coming with a lot of the the history of Exodus and Sky Red building back up, but it's I think at this point it's the match this last week with Exodus, that was kind of the, I guess, put a stopping point on it to a degree.
We'll talk about it.
And then it's Sky's really the only one that has a direction at Tatum right now,
so to speak.
And it's with Aaron, with the whole possible title change at the Purge for Aaron Eagle, if it's not going to be the end of Tommy Becker, I could see that being the catalyst that starts him on that turn. And he's just no, you know what? I am the hero of the people. And he goes and,
it's possible.
Goes and becomes the hero champ.
And the other thing that we all, because, and it's not that we forget, but yes, we have our it's Red, it's Sky, it's Exodus, could be Eagle. We're all forgetting Kari still has that.
That's not Kari's fault.
Kari still has that fully prospect title that he could. He could be the one. He could take advantage of Tatum, even though it's heel and heel. Could take advantage and get that belt. I mean, that's kind of the whole point of having the prospect title defended.
Seth Rollins did it.
Yeah.
And he became one of the better champs of that era, that time frame.
So I mean, who knows what will happen? But the match with Black and Eagle, amazing. I think it would be great.
Oh yeah. Second match, triple threat match, as the returning Brixton Shaw took on Rook Tyler and Red Chambers in a triple threat match
in Brixton with new music. And at first, I didn't think I would like it because Brixton's old music was good. This new music was great too, and it fit him, and it fit. It was good because it's one of those where it's I don't. If you have a good entrance music that already kind of gets people up, Brixton's did, don't change. But then he changed it, and I'm ooh, all right, this is all right.
And
it was good to see Brixton back.
I can kind of understand why he might want to turn away from his old music though, because at least especially that bass lead up sounds a bit like Samoa Joe from WWE.
I think that might be one reason why I liked it.
That might be, yeah. I also just like the song.
But I also like the song because Into the Spider-Verse and X and it was great. Apparently Palmer has news.
Oh, what's the news, Palmer?
Insane news.
Yeah. Oh, let's keep talking about the match.
It takes a while. We're on a delay.
Yeah. Brixton Shaw, Rook Tyler, Red Chambers. This match, as soon as I saw that Red Chambers and Brixton Shaw were going to be in the match together, my first thought was, this is the bookend.
Yeah, it's, throwback.
Yeah. It's like this is an absolute bookend of a match in which, Red Chambers, the trainer Red Chambers, his first official match as Red Chambers was against Brixton Shaw. And, well, that ended badly for Red. And, it's like years down the line, now, Red is that guy. He's the son of mayhem. He's the Saturday Night Savior. He's built himself up a lot. And now he's coming back to face off against Brixton Shaw again. He may not be the happy-go-lucky Pokemon trainer he was, but he is still,
He's a better version. What do you call him? He evolved. So,
yeah.
It's better. No one likes the Pokemon guy.
But I saw the ending coming, but once again, that's that whole thing of predictability does not mean bad.
Yeah.
I saw the ending coming and I was happy with it.
Yeah, it was good. It's good to get Red back in the wins and stuff like that. And it was after the Mikey B match. I even said I was like, I wanted more Red Death. I wanted Red to still be the kind of the Sting version that just appears when he has to right the wrongs and stuff like that. So they kind of just throw all that away when it was kind of like he still has the biggest one to go after, which is Tatum. Like we could have kept that going a little bit. I felt like it just I don't know I don't necessarily know what they're doing with Red. It's one of those where it's cool, he's getting back in the win column. He's having good matches, but where are we going with this?
We made comparisons of Red to Cody to begin with, and you know what? That's turning out to be absolutely true.
Yeah.
Speaking of dusty finishes. But one of the things I did love about this match, though, was at the beginning of the match that one of the first things Red does against Brixton is he puts his old finisher away.
Yeah.
He does the backstabber right then and there. It's not the finisher anymore. He's doing the unprettier, and it looks good for him.
Yeah, it does. I like the unprettier. I've always liked the unprettier. Thought it was a cool move, and then to have Red do it, and there's something about the way he looks when he does it. It's kind of like Christian. There was something about Christian's build that when you hit it, it just looks smooth and good and beautiful. And you've seen other guys.
It's the lanky build.
I guess it is, because you've seen other guys who are a little bit bigger and thicker trying, and you're just like, it just doesn't look as good.
It's like the one person who's a little stockier, stockier than Red anyway, that looked decent doing it. He doesn't wrestle anymore. Dexter.
Yeah.
When Dexter did the unprettier, he did it. It just worked, because I guess it's because he's so small compared to a lot of the other guys.
It was because he was small, and when he did it, he literally kind of threw himself out, so it looked really good. One, I don't like him. He doesn't really wrestle much anymore. It was CJ. When CJ did it, I didn't like the way it looked. Yeah, it just looked weird and funky, and him and Dexter, a little similar build. But I feel like, like I said, Dexter threw his legs out and it looks like he drove them down. Yeah. CJ did it. He just kind of fell down. I'm like, it doesn't look as good.
Yeah. Sometimes you like a finisher and you really want to do it, and it just doesn't seem to work.
I mean, there's, the spear. A lot of people do spears. Some look really good. Some look like shit.
Yeah. It's like Noah. I love Noah, but I think he should have had a much different finisher than he did, because his spear looked so weightless.
Right.
Whereas, oh man, Mikey, you get him coming out of that corner, he's got all the speed and
boom. And Mikey, the thing with Mikey is it's very edge-like. He hits him, he drops to the knees, looks amazing. One thing I liked, Big Fitz did it a couple of times, and he did it the Roman style, where it is just straight. There's no going to the knees. You're just legs out. Boom,
you are
straight.
You are a spear,
and it was great. It was amazing. And then you got ones like Rhino who are gore, and they just go right through you.
The gore was a whole different animal.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I just for the longest time, I actually wondered why Roman didn't do it more like the gore. Come off the ropes. You know.
True. And that's an argument I'd always have my friends. The spear and gore are very different, even though they're very similar. And
they're the same move.
Yeah, but they're different.
Yeah.
Same with the pounce. The pounce is very different.
Yeah.
But anyways, that long diatribe. Red winning. Good.
Yes.
Like I said, getting win column. Good to see Brixton back.
Yes.
I believe we're getting him next week too. So
I was listening to the commentary. I didn't really get a chance to see on the screen. Richard was saying that the commission people were out there at that point.
I think they were on the apron. I don't remember.
Part of me was almost
not.
Yeah. Part of me was almost expecting that they were going to get involved in the match and cost Brixton the match that way because of the history.
No, see, and I was thinking the opposite. I figured they would cost Red because Red's kind of done things against the and again, most people already know I hate the stupid Texas Wrestling Commission because it's not a fucking thing. But yeah,
until they get their greatest agent in the ring.
Well, and that's the thing is like if you just would have called it something else, I think it would have been okay. But the fact that you're like, oh, we're a wrestling committee. No, you're not. That's not a thing. But yeah, no.
It's a way to have an authority figure come in and mess with things without having an actual authority figure.
And I love authority figure storylines. I love them to death, even though they're overdone. I love them.
Yeah.
Just the fact that it's called Texas Wrestling Committee. That's not a thing.
Well, especially since we already have a TWC. It's the Texas Workforce Commission that bothers me.
The Texas Wrestling Cartel down in Corpus.
Oh no. No, I do want to go see that, but yeah. But back on task. After that, we had a match, the debuting Maya World taking on MJ Santana. We hadn't seen MJ in a while.
Nope, not since the tag match, I believe.
I believe so, yeah. And this was really good and actually kind of surprising. I mean, then again, given who the opponent was, I guess it kind of makes a certain amount. I don't know.
To me, it made sense having Maya win. One, debut. Two, the bigger name in the DFW area, and that's something against MJ Santana, but it's more Oklahoma. If say we are to bring one of them back, probably would be Maya, just because she is closer. I did enjoy the match. I thought it was good. I would like to see more of Maya before I form she's talented. One of those things, because this is my first time seeing her. I've heard the names,
honestly,
seen clips.
I like the idea of having Maya World around and everything like that, because that means yet another face woman wrestler.
Yeah, but even then, it's one of those where, because again, I'm not into all that because the women's division in MPX it's really been
careful,
non-existent.
You're going to get quoted wrong.
And of course I am. It's non-existent, and the women usually have in the past fought the men, and that's fine. That's why when everyone's like, they need a women's title, they don't.
If that happened more often, that'd be fine. If we had something like Hilda going up against more of the guys and everything like that in normal competition, I would be totally 100% fine with it. But the only time you really see Hilda take on guys is in the mixed tag matches.
Intergender tags. Yeah. Which is fine.
So it's like...
And you don't even have to have Hilda fight the men all the time. You don't have to have, Morgan Mercy fight the men all the time. You don't have to have Maya World. You don't have to have intergender wrestling. Yeah. But for people to be like, oh, they need a women's division, they need a women's... No, you don't. Look at the history of MPX and the women wrestlers. You don't need a women's division.
You don't necessarily, but then again, like I said, it's like Phoebe was the last women's champion woman champion.
Prospect title,
as a prospect champion. And that was for a couple of matches, and then she lost that. Yeah. And she's not come back really since.
Yeah, we haven't really seen Phoebe in a while. It'd be good to see her back.
Before that, it was, the blink and you miss it, not really, but not really. Livy Loca having the belt for a night.
MPX title, yeah.
Then, Lizzie having the belt for a week.
Prospect.
And then, before that was Baby D.
Settle. Yeah.
And other than that, and Machiko is part of...
the tag, yeah.
Yeah, tag.
The Freebird rule.
Yeah. And, of course, Baby D with, Punch Drunk Love. Don't call it a comeback.
Her and Phoebe had tag titles too, didn't it?
No.
Never won them in MPX?
Not at the MPX.
Okay.
They had tag titles elsewhere.
Yeah, I know they had Sabotage forever.
Sabotage, and they almost won the the Lucha Brutal ones.
Oh, that's right. And then it became...
the intergender one.
Yeah. What was
Sexy Life?
Sexy Life. That was it, yeah. Her and Tommy were great. But yeah, this, like I said, this match was good. I would love to see more of Maya just to actually form a real opinion. But yeah. Then say the huge news.
Please.
But, yeah.
We're not supposed to be acknowledging the chat like that, though.
Yeah, I know. But it's hard when, when the owner says I have huge news. Cool, then tell us.
We'd love to be able to, help spread such good news and great news and everything. Huge news. Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match for the number 1 contendership against Purple Haze, which is that, I think that's supposed to happen next week,
Yes.
isn't it? Okay. The Entourage, represented by Schaefer and LP, with Polly Paparazzi on the outside. The Brilliant Gems, Los Rayos, represented by Dylan Smasher and Carlos Diaz, with Muerte Inferno there, since, I mean, Snowman couldn't be there, El Jefe couldn't be there, he was busy out in Havana making deals.
Something like that.
Shh. Microcosm.
I'm saying something like that. He's in Havana. I don't know what deals he's making, but he's out in Havana.
And Horsepower. And
as long as he brings me a Cuban cigar, I don't give a fuck where he was.
Right? They're actually not that good. But this one, other than the fact that I looked at this and went, holy crap, LP and Schaefer are the veterans by a mile.
Oh, yeah. Huge. Dylan's one of the most experienced next to Schaefer and LP, but after that, yeah, all these people are 3. I think Nate's the next one with 4 years in, maybe. So, yes, Athena is a former champion, but we were new building.
Yeah. Well, we were also just kind of going back to recent history, and Baby D was like just before my time, so.
But yeah, the old building, Athena ran that place. So.
Oh, yeah. Well,
it's come full circle.
Well,
now.
I was going to say, he's like, no, the new building, she runs this place too.
But yeah, Entourage definitely the most experienced in there, and it kind of showed. The greatest thing about this was the dives, obviously, because we finally got to see Schaefer show his athleticism, which we all know he had. Well, okay, most know he has great athleticism.
Yeah,
and we finally got to see it in this, and it was great. Again, Brian Pulver with those pictures, just amazing. The match itself was really good. I liked. It was very back and forth between all 4 teams.
Absolutely.
And it was one of those where, yes, we're like, oh, Los Reyes or Entourage, they're the definite winners. But there were several times in that match, you're like, oh, they could go this Horsepower. Oh, they could go, Brilliant Gems. They could go Entourage. They could go. They did so good at, I mean, Jesus, we've said it several times. When you have a triple threat or a fatal 4-way, it could easily become a clusterfuck. Yes. Here, you've got 8 men, 10 if you count the 2 on the outside, 11 when you count the red. It easily could be a cluster, and it didn't. It was laid out perfect. Everything worked well. Really enjoyed it.
And it's like, if there was a fumble, we didn't really see it. But it's like, there were a lot of moments in this that I loved too. I loved the I think my favorite moment in the match was when Carlos had tagged in, and he was taking on Eddie, and at one point he runs to Horsepower's corner. Nate's going out to grab him, and Carlos just high five and runs back, and like, yes! Oh my God! Carlos is quickly becoming one of my favorite heels.
Oh yeah, it's really good, and it's one of those that I love. Everything we see in Los Reyes, every time they come out, they're just getting better. They're getting better as a group and a faction. Yes. And they're also elevating themselves as performers. Like you said, Carlos is becoming, kind of coming into his own. We've seen Carlos here and there, and we've always like, oh, he's got good charisma. He's not breaking out of his shell yet. He's not fully getting it. And then little things like that, and you're like, okay, yes, this guy's going to be one of those, cool heels that you're going to love to boo, but you also deep down like him.
No, and it's like, in the fact that he just, he's so cocky, and it just works. It fits him. Exactly. I mean, Eddie has tried it, but he's not, as great at it, because I love Nate. I love Eddie, and they are doing the damnedest they can, and they're doing everything they can to make Horsepower as heels look really good. But I don't know. I guess it's just the history of knowing these guys.
I was going to say, because I'm the opposite. I think they are good heels, and I like them better as heel. To me, it works.
They feel more natural as faces to me.
Especially when you get and granted, the promos were kind of, they need work on them. But when you get we're one of the best tag teams, and y'all never recognize us. You didn't do this. Why have we never been in MPX? Like, when they started attacking and saying, y'all forgot about us, y'all don't look at us.
And that's justified, and that's why I'm 100% behind the idea of them being heels. And like I said, they're doing the damnedest they can with it. It's just, like I said, it might be just the history of knowing these guys and knowing, what great guys they are and everything. Them being heels, it's just like, it's kind of like seeing Stan Stackhouse being a heel.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, it can work. He can make it work, but it just doesn't feel 100% right.
Yeah. I enjoy them as heel. I think it's great.
Yeah.
Speaking of heels, the biggest thing out of this match is
at the end.
And it's everyone's like, oh, it's a turn. Yeah, he didn't really hit him.
Yeah.
He just didn't help him up.
He turned heel, but he turned away.
So, and that's the thing. Like, did Demo really turn heel? I don't,
It's a heel.
I know it is, but I just should have hit him maybe. Or, I don't know. It was one of those where it's like, and then to me, I'm excited because I've been saying for months, we need a monster heel. We don't have a monster. Our closest monster is Schaefer. And yes, he's a heel, but he's a funny, cool heel that everyone loves. We need a straight out, mean, big ass monster, which Demo can pull off. I really do believe Demo would make a great heel if he kind of goes the way that I think he would go. And he could become that monster that we need at MPX.
Yeah. No, I completely agree.
Especially turning on one of the most beloved wrestlers ever in the history of MPX in Cavens, that it's already made him the top heel. Everyone fucking hates Demo. Like, it's amazing. I like it. I hope we really kind of honestly just strap it Rocket to him and let him be the top monster heel.
I agree.
Because also his matches are amazing. He's really good matches. So I think it's going to be great.
Oh, that's going to be fun.
Purple Rain. Well, summer, I'm just assuming.
But let's go. The Entourage coming away with the win on that one, though. We're apparently shorter on time than I thought. Let's see. Then we had Hilda versus Angel Blue. This didn't actually turn out the way I was expecting it to, but I'm not mad at it because of the way it happened.
It didn't, yeah. I expected Angel to win. I am super happy we got heel Angel back because that, again, yes, we've got the cool feel-good moment. We cheered her. She's back. That's amazing. Give me the fucking bitch back because Angel is one of the best female heels in the history of Texas wrestling.
It's like, it just, honestly, I've always remember and always loved the feud she had with Baby D because you had, the megastar and MPX's favorite of all time, and the two of them butting heads.
It's amazing.
I mean, a lot of people don't know is like the hip strike that Angel does. She got that because she was goading Baby D.
Exactly.
And she just kept it, and it works for her.
It does. It's great. And her and Hilda did work well together.
Yes.
The chemistry was there. It was good. I did like the finish because as much as I thought Angel would win, the finish made sense, and it was cool. It really did solidify, okay, Angel is, while the match itself solidified her being full heel, the way she lost and the way she's going to come back after Hilda is going to be great. And while Hilda and Morgan, I thought was going to be a good feud, but we just didn't get it long enough. If they do this right and they can really build this and make this a really long feud, this is going to be amazing.
Yes, I agree. I just hope it doesn't turn into, we're just going to have another special tag match.
Yeah.
And that's going to end the whole thing.
No, I really do feel, because yes, they are local and we can get them a lot more, we can really build Hilda and Angel to be a great, amazing feud. And also, it's like I said last week, Hilda being in the ring with Angel is going to make her so much better because she's going to learn so much.
Oh, yeah. No,
so
definitely.
It's great.
Then we have the singles match of Muerte Infernal with the rest of Los Rayos in his corner, taking on Gabe Wilder with nobody in his corner. Yeah. I'm thinking we're going to be seeing the build-up to the next major faction feud of the Children versus Los Rayos.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're seeing it next week, and we'll talk about that.
Oh.
But, having the rest of them come out and obviously, do what they should do without El Jefe, which I thought was great because, like I said, you need them all out there.
Yep.
If it was Morte and Gabe straight up, as good as Morte is and as great that he's kind of risen up, no one's going to believe he would beat Gabe clean.
Yeah.
So to have them come out, interfere, whatever, have them get the win, that's great. No, we don't. I just saw that comment. And go back. We talked about
there will be he was watching. I think that's why he said.
But yes, I love how they did it, how they destroyed it, and how it's setting up what we're building to the next big feud. Because again, Los Rayos is going after the favorites. even after scoring time, the Children's Scorn were always the favorites. So having to build the tag team division of Los Rios is good.
Yeah.
So,
but especially with the end with Los Rios beating the snot out of Gabe afterward. The one problem I had with this is way to make the Texas Wrestling Commission look completely ineffectual.
they were busy backstage.
Well, no, they were out there and yelling, "Don't do it, don't do it," and
Yeah, that's right. They were. I couldn't remember what match it was. I thought it was the next match.
yeah, no,
but,
that was this match.
Yeah, it's
I don't even know what happened.
like I said, I don't really like the Texas Wrestling Commission because it's dumb. But whatever.
But then we had the main event: Tatum Manning, X's Prime, a classic match. It's like honestly. This is today to what I guess you could say yesterday in a fashion was Kirby versus Dexter.
Yeah, a little bit. It's one of those where, yes, their matches are always good. Yes, they have great chemistry. Out of all the matches they've had, this one's probably the weakest, I think. It just wasn't as good as all the other historic matches. Is it good? Yes.
Yeah.
Did it serve its purpose? Obviously. It's just it wasn't as good as they've done in the past, and it's probably because there was real no build-up, and everything that's going around with the Texas Wrestling Commission, with Isaac Mazer introducing things, with Sky's music playing, but him not there, it took away from what is Exodus versus Tatum.
Yeah.
So, but again, Tatum winning because that's what we're doing right now, which is great. Not complaining because people are going to take that the wrong way. I like what's going on with it right now. Going into next week and going into the Purge and then going into Purple Rain. Tatum should win. Tatum should keep the title. Tatum. To me, for Tatum to drop that belt, it's going to have to be something big.
Yeah.
It's not going to be this week he's fighting one of his greatest rivals that could take title, which I know I've always said X's might be the one to do it. But there's no build
there would
to
still,
it. If there
I was going to say,
build to it,
it's like there would still be more of a build to it because even at the Purge, when Exodus did take the title from him, there was a build up to that.
Exactly.
So, but yeah. That was last week. Fairly decent show. I mean, Isaac Mazer talking about how, well, Sky's not going to be here, but I've got a friend who will be.
Yeah,
I'm so excited to see him.
He's got Tatum's Nightmare.
Yeah, I'm just so glad to see Mr. America. I'm sorry, the Trinity River Ripper.
You don't know what that is? Look, when I think of Isaac Mazer in the history of MPX, I always think of when he brought in Herdakis. Someone new. When he brought in Morte, not Infernal, obviously, but whatever that guy was.
Silencioso.
Yeah, the one I didn't really like. But when he brought him in, it was someone new. Yes, he had the Lost Boys with him that became the Crypt, but every time I think of Isaac, he always had someone new with him. So to me, the Trinity River Ripper, while yes, a lot of people thinking Sky, Under Mask, whatever,
Juggernaut's back.
It fucking could be someone new. Well, I hate, and yes, if it is, cool. That's what we're going with. That's fine. That's not a bad story.
Yeah.
That's interesting. But to
my
me,
first thought was
Mr.
Mr. America, but my first thought was Mr. America. But if you really look back at the history of wrestling, I was trying to remember the name of that Dusty wrestled under when he came back in a mask.
The Midnight Rider.
Yeah, I was just like, it's classic. It is a classic.
It
wrestling
is.
thing.
It is something you can do.
Check this out.
I think it's fine if that's what it is. But also,
it could be somebody new.
The history of Isaac. It could be someone new.
Yeah, we'll see. But that is for last week. This week, MPX House Party 2023. We've got a whole bunch of announced matches, and we have a couple of will be there types. We've got the tag team title match, the Entourage versus Purple Haze. We talked about Entourage being one of the ones that they could pull the trigger on easily. This would help catapult them as a faction back to the top because I really do feel in a lot of ways that it was the ball was dropped with the Entourage. It kind of just it was like they came in, they were real strong for a while, and then it just kind of.
A little bit. I think because of who they are and everything, Schaefer is great, and we still pushed him a lot. While the Entourage did take a little backseat. But they still are one of the most names. The T-shirts are amazing. They sold very well. But I
buy his
feel
T-shirt.
as much as, like I said, as much as I love Purple Haze, we don't get them often. To have the tag titles on an MBX team,
and I'm not
to have the tag titles there every week, and to have the Entourage use the Freebird rule, which I think they would. I think that would be great.
Let's see, the tag team match between the Children of the Scorn and Los Reyes. Going to be interesting to see how that goes because it's going to be Muerte and Carlos, which is the natural team up that I would have thought,
right?
Because Dylan is the bigger guy of the three. But I didn't hate the team up from last week.
Dylan has the tag experience,
yeah.
So, and I think having Dylan, I liked the version.
Muerte
of Dylan
has
and
tag
Carlos.
experience too because
no,
he was part of the crew.
I know, but having Dylan with Carlos, I thought that was a good matchup for them. But yes, this tag team will be good. Be good to have El Jefe back. So, you know.
Definitely. We're going to have a women's match. Glamorous Amorous Blair taking on Killa Kate. Definitely going to be good to see.
Yes.
Looking forward to that one. And if Amorous is going to be there, you know that the long arm of the law is coming. We're going to see Kiefer Bartek taking on the Tommy Becker. I am very much looking forward to that.
Says he's got new tricks up his sleeves.
Oh, wow.
We'll see.
You still think he's still got the strongest...
well, now that Ryan's retired, yeah, he's got the best lariat.
Okay.
So,
well, we'll see what... have you seen Stonewall Rimson? His lariat?
It's good, but
yeah.
No. Sapo's no longer part of the entourage, therefore he is not part of the Freebird rule. He does not own a title.
He is still in Thailand. Then we got the 6-man elimination match. Mikey B, Red Chambers, Kari Wright, Nate Collins, Exodus Prime, and the Trinity River Ripper, which I've already made my jokes about that one, so I'm not going to beat that one to death.
Which is great. And yeah, the winner, gets a match for the Purge. Or names his match for the Purge. And I can't remember if it's names his match or if it's names his match against Tatum. Like, I can't remember because Isaac did the whole thing of, like, I have your nightmare and next week you'll see it. So that leads me to believe, this is going to be a match against Tatum at Purge. But who knows what will happen. The only thing that, again, and it is nothing against Nate Collins because I know I said this last time he was in a multi-man match. I don't understand why he's in this. Like, it's just weird to me that
I think they're really
Nate Collins. Like, and that's the other thing. Like, if you really want to push horsepower and do that, cool. We saw Nate in another.
That actually does
match. Put Eddie in this.
Yeah, but then again, we've also got Aaron Eagle and Dylan Cavens showing up there as well, and I'm pretty sure Tatum won't be too far behind. So
he is on the poster.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens, and definitely get your tickets for that. Make sure you check it out or catch it on Twitch, MPX Wrestling .tv.
You don't remember that's your job. You're supposed to remember.
I do it through the app, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Ernie hire another murderer. He hires a lot of them.
Probably.
I mean, he hires big men who go out and beat the snot out of each other.
Is it Ernie or is it Isaac? I mean, Isaac's person.
True. That is true. Well, either way, we'll see, and we'll definitely see how that goes. Get your tickets. Check it out. Check it out on Twitch, and make sure you stay tuned in because in a bit we will be back for the Indie Spotlight, in which we will have. I'm just so happy about this. Byron Anthos, the King of Fools, will be here. Byron.
Are you sure?
Byron.
I don't think that's right.
Byron, as in Lord Byron.
What? Is that actually how it came about?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
We'll ask him, won't we?
I still think it's Brian.
So, mark out, ladies and gentlemen. Keep it kayfabe.
See y'all Saturday. So is this Isaac's special little nephew he's bringing?
I guess so. I don't know.
Okay. Well, it can't be a little boy.